Good evening, and welcome to the June 21st, 2022 Tyngsborough School Committee meeting. I'd like to remind everyone that these meetings are audio and video recorded. My name is Becky Stanton, and I call this meeting to order. We'll start with introductions with Nate.
Hi, Nate Marino, Student Representative.
Jeff Bowe.
Dustine Puma.
Good evening, Joe Messina, Business Administrator.
I'm Mike Flanagan, Superintendent.
Anthony Tenorello.
Ryan McMahon.
Robert Mullen.
We'll rise to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll seek a motion to approve the May 24th, 2022 School Committee meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, citizen time. There are no citizens here. And correspondence.
None at this time, Madam Chair.
Great. For personnel, we have notification for intent to retire from Gloria Hogue, TMS custodian of over 16 years of service. Joanne Morrissey, THS custodian with over 40 years of service. Lisa Preventer, TMS paraprofessional with over 15 years of service. Congratulations, best of luck. And for notification of resignations, we have Alpina Basker, TES paraprofessional, 6 years of service. Justin Santos, THS custodian with 2 years of service. And Gianna Kasky, THS wellness teacher with 4 years of service. Good luck to you all as well. Moving on to share the success. Nate.
Yeah, so starting at the elementary school, they wrapped up the 2021 through 2022 school year with lots of fun and celebrations. This includes the annual THS Senior Walk, Field Day, fifth grade Fun Week, field trips, end-of-year barbecue with DJ Steve and the PTO's famous raffle baskets, the Grade 3 Wax Museum, Tyngsborough Police Cruiser Ride, and Tyngsborough Fire Truck Ride to school. They had Pajama Day, camping, beach parties. They had the 5th grade Moving On celebration and their annual Move Up Day. And these events were well-deserved and extra special this year. And then as we kick off the summer, Mrs. Kavanaugh wants to remind students to keep showing their stripes and watch for some stripes challenges this summer. Families should check out the Tyngsborough Public Library's summer activities calendar, and as always, follow the TES website and social media pages for important updates. And THS administration looks forward to providing the committee with some exciting updates in September, including a new master schedule, new ELA curriculum, as well as an update on the new pre-K through 5 playground, which is scheduled to be completed by October. At the middle school, they had their step-up day with 5th, 6th, and 7th graders on June 9th. Students learned the teams they will be on next year in this brief visit. Also, Field Day was a big success on June 10th. Students had a day filled with games, snacks, and activities, as well as music. Thank you to Mrs. Slattery and Mr. Holgate, who helped set that up, as well as everyone else who helped out. The 8th grade had their end-of-year dance on the night of June 13th. Students enjoyed games, snacks, and dancing. 8th graders also took a whale watch trip out of Gloucester on June 14th as a class. And additionally, the 8th grade Moving On ceremony was held on June 15th. And then at the high school, graduation was held on Friday, June 3rd, and that was a great night. Congrats to the class of 2022. Everyone would like to thank the Grad Night organizers for hosting their annual after-graduation event. We appreciate all you do for the graduates. The Celebration of Excellence was held on June 9th for grades 9 through 11. Congrats to everyone who won awards. The 8th graders also visited THS on Thursday the 16th as they ran through their first trimester schedules, and all the principals would like to thank everyone for a great year and wish everyone a safe and healthy summer.
Thanks, Nate. Great job.
Nate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Moving on to unfinished business, the superintendent report. Dr. Flanagan.
Thank you. So we'll jump into the slide deck. Go to the first slide. So there's not a whole lot to report tonight on the school building committee update. We have a meeting tomorrow night. There was a lot of work done by the construction manager subcommittee over the past week or two, of which Mr. Messina is a member. They interviewed 7 construction management firms, and I believe the plan is to come forward with a recommendation. You're going to meet as a subcommittee tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and they'll bring a recommendation of a construction management firm to the full school building committee tomorrow night. So by tomorrow night, we should have all the pieces in place in terms of, we already have our OPM and architect now of the construction manager, and then we'll begin to really start thinking about what it looks like and get timelines and timetables, all that kind of stuff nailed down and buttoned up. Right now, I do know that Left Field and JCJ are both looking at finalizing drawing packages. They're looking at the entire permitting process with the community and doing the final design elements within JCJ's doing the final design elements for the school. So that's where we are right now. Tomorrow night's a big school building committee night to really nail down that construction management company. We'll kind of go from there. I don't know if you want to offer anything on that, Mr. Messina.
No, we did interview all of the firms. They, very responsive organizations. Some of them seemed better prepared than others. We met both of them over 2 meetings, and we did some deliberation after the final meetings as well as via Zoom. Fairly confident that we all landed in a similar spot with the firms we're looking at, and we are meeting prior to building committee tomorrow night to rank basically a top 3 and, most likely recommend the single firm to the full building committee.
Great, thank you.
Excellent. So the next thing that we'll talk about is the subcommittee assignments for 22-23. So I did the best I could with all your top choices. I tried to get everyone in at least 1 or 2 of their top choices here. But this is a draft of the subcommittee assignments for this current year. I apologize up front. I neglected to include the budget subcommittee on the form that was sent out because that was a relatively new committee and I had an old form. Historically, that's had 3 members on it. I assume Jeff and Becky wanted to stay on. I know Rob is tied up at work and can't do it. I think we have an option to either keep it at 2 members or see if a 3rd member would like to jump into that slot. So we can kind of go any way we want that. It's also an open meeting, so anyone can show up whenever they want as well. But based on the feedback I received from all members, this would be my recommendation for subcommittee assignments for the 22-23 school year.
Okay, we'll just ask everybody to take a look at this, and if there's any feedback or issues, just let Dr. Flaherty and I know. Great. New business.
So the strategy for district improvement, we, as you know, we, in early March, we sent out a survey to all community stakeholders regarding our strategy for district improvement. And basically, the survey consisted of 4 questions, which I've listed here. Greatest successes, 1 or 2 challenges, what needs immediate attention, and just an open opportunity for anyone to offer any additional input or information they'd like to give us. If we go to the next slide, Joe. What we're really going to drill down, though, on is the specific question, what do you feel needs my immediate attention? We're happy to say that we received 244 responses from the community. When we originally did this in 2016, we only received 116 responses. So granted, as we know, it's been a rough couple of years. People are more invested. They're paying a lot more attention to what's going on in the schools, so maybe that was the catalyst behind it. But in terms of what needs our immediate attention, you can see the top responses. 31 specific responses about caring about the social and emotional needs of our students. 29 responses were specifically about, we need a new middle school. Of course, the timing of it was March, so that would make sense. 29 responses were specific to course offerings and programming, and they weren't specific to that. They were kind of that's kind of a thematic topic. And then 21 responses about different operational issues, whether it was bus behavior or lack of substitute teachers and or extracurricular programming. And then we had 19 various responses about special education, from related service to inclusion to sub-separate programming. So that was kind of the umbrella of the information. Do you have to go to the next slide? So our plan this summer, so you understand, we have a principal meeting tomorrow to really talk about these results and really give the principals an opportunity to understand it, think about it, reflect upon it, and really process that information. When we come back, the Central Office Administrative Team will meet with the principals again on July 14th, and that's when we move from reflection to action. I'm going to give them a couple weeks to process and think about the information they had, and how do we address that? And what are our next steps? And how does that tie into our SDI? And again, I think one of the things that we're most proud of is our strategy for district improvement provides a through line to the classroom. Our teachers write goals specific to that strategy. So it is an actionable plan that is a living document that we all buy into. So we'll look at working with the principals on July 14th to really refine the cover page of the SDI and think about this information. Then we'll bring it to the extended leadership team for our administrative retreat in August 16th and 17th. And then when the school year starts, we'll solicit input from teachers as well, and they'll actually draft their goals by the end of September in a finalized, revised, updated strategy for district improvement. So that's the time frame of where we are. Tomorrow, it's just kind of a presentation of material and really think about it, reflect on it, and say, how do we get better? And how do we commit back to the strategy for district improvement so that drives the work that we're doing, and that's our focus for next year. And that's where we are.
That's very good, thank you.
All right?
Were there any questions on that? No. All right, moving on to the 22-23 school committee meeting schedule.
So I hope it's okay with the committee, but we added another meeting for you. So right now, we know we're supposed to have one meeting in July, one meeting in August. Based on where we are, we thought it would make sense to have Paul Ash come in August, not tonight. Again, tonight was supposed to be a work session, but given the fact that not all members could be here, we're hopeful that all members can make it on August 16th for a work session then. And then we'll use our August 23rd meeting as the last meeting to talk about opening schools and where we are at that point. But that August 16th meeting will be a good opportunity for us to come together and learn and grow with Dr. Ash. So that's the revised summer schedule. And then if you go to the next slide, this is a proposed meeting schedule for next year. Folks, pretty much all I did was cut and paste and move the date forward. It's pretty much the exact same schedule we had last year. It seemed to work for us, and again, as we know, if we need to call special meetings, we call special meetings. But this schedule takes into time, makes sense, is logical, and fits pretty well with our budget plan and budget updates, and it kind of coordinates with the town. So this seems to be effective. So at that point, I would say this is my recommendation for the SC school committee schedule next year. Yes?
The only question I would have would be the December 20th meeting. That's right around Christmas. A lot of people are traveling. I think we had to move that meeting last year, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if we want to move that now, or we can approve this and when we get closer, reevaluate. That's fine.
Last year, it was a little tighter, I believe.
I think last year we split the difference and went with one on December like 14th or something.
Right.
But given what December 14th was and where Thanksgiving fell, it doesn't matter to me either
We
way.
can wait and see what their needs are at that time, too.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I would like to just call out, Mr. Messina, could you scroll up to the August meetings? That the Paul Ash meeting, that training meeting, it does start at 6.
Yes.
So that's a little earlier than,
Why are you looking at me?
sorry, I had to. And it is an open meeting, but typically we don't video record that.
Correct.
So, you know, anybody from the public is welcome to attend, but typically we don't video record that meeting.
And there will be no public input at that meeting.
Correct, yes, yeah.
And if I may, all our subcommittee meetings and school building committee meetings and negotiation meetings and blah, blah, blah. If we could try, and I don't know how easy this will be or difficult it would be, to try to plan those on the same weeks as our school committee meetings. That way we kind of cram it into 2 or 3 days in 1 week, and then we have a whole week off.
We've typically tried that with school building committee. Negotiations a little bit tougher,
Yeah, because we're relying
A
on
larger group.
lawyers and everybody, yeah.
but subcommittee meetings we generally do right before the meeting, and school building committees will try to coordinate that. And I think the school building committee meeting is moving down to once a month as well.
Oh, perfect.
So
All right.
I'll,
'Cause
we'll,
some
we'll
of,
work
some
with
of these
that.
meetings you end up with Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday.
Yep,
yeah.
yep. No, it's fair. So we can work with David on that tomorrow night.
All right.
Uh,
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna move on, so,
Well, do we need to take action on some of this stuff?
yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll seek a motion to approve the school committee meeting schedule as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? That carries 600. Moving on to finance, signing of
Madam
bills.
Chair?
Yes.
We want to make a motion on the subcommittees assignments?
I apologize, I missed that. I'm glad that you're checked in. I'm on summer mode, I guess.
I thought we were gonna wait for responses from people. I'd also nominate Diane to be the third member of the budget committee.
Who?
Danielle?
Danielle.
Oh,
What did I
okay.
say, Danielle.
As far as the subcommittee assignments are concerned, I'll seek a motion to approve the subcommittee assignments as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I would like to apologize to the rest of my school committee members for having to take a bit of a step back this year. I've always enjoyed being a part of as much as I can be, but this year's a bit of a challenge for me, so sorry about that, and thank you for picking up the slack for me.
As long as I've been on this committee, you've been on some of the most time-intensive subcommittees, so I think it's a well-earned step back to focus on your personal life. No need
Thank
to
you.
apologize.
Appreciate that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? That carries 600. Did I miss any other ones, Ryan?
I think you're good.
All right. Moving on to finance.
We'll try to talk and drive at the same time. Forgive me if I move around slowly on this. For signing of bills tonight, there were 15 warrants presented to the committee. In your drive are the list of warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts. Also, on June 7th, Mr. Mullen, as your single signer, came in and signed 13 bill warrants. Those are also in your drive. For signing of payroll, there were 3 payrolls since the last time they were reviewed. The payroll of June 16th, which is the teacher's summer pay, and the payroll of June 20th. And warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts are in your drive as well. And that is it for finance tonight. Oh, actually, there is one thing I just wanted to call to the committee. At your July meeting, Whitson's will be in to review the budget for next year. There is still no movement on universal free lunch from either the federal government or the state government. Whether or not something changes between now and the end of August, we don't know. We also don't know if the state were to pick up where the federal government left off, whether or not they would supplement completely. So Whitson's did review this year with me and some preliminary budget numbers. Of course, as we all know, cost of food has been increasing, and he's going to bring to the committee a few pricing alternatives to the committee. I'll make a recommendation that night as the committee sees fit, but as of right now, we're looking to return to paid lunches for next school year. So that's just an update for the July meeting.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
School committee discussion. Nate, we'll start with you.
None at this time, thank you.
All set, thank you.
All set?
I'm all set, thank you.
Well, I would like to, again, we'll thank our staff and teachers and everyone for all of their incredible hard work this year. I hope they get plenty of rest. They certainly deserve it this summer. And I would like to wish everyone a very happy and fun and safe summer.
Thanks, Robin.
I missed the last meeting, so I'd like to formally welcome Nate to the group.
Thank you.
Welcome Danielle, even though she's not with us tonight. To go on with what Rob was saying, we came into this year with a lot of uncertainty. There's still a lot of COVID concerns. And I think we did a really good job. The teachers and the admin did a great job of making it as normal year as possible. And by the end of the year, luckily COVID wasn't even on anybody's mind. I think it ended up being a great year considering all the uncertainty going into it. I think one of the other great things that came out of the COVID thing was I love the outside celebrations at 5th, 8th, and high school. My son moved on from elementary to middle school, and it was just a great presentation. The kids loved it, the families loved it, so I think that's one of the positives that actually came out of all this COVID. Thank you.
Nate, great job tonight.
Thank you.
Not easy to do that. It's not a lot of people could sit in front of this group and do that, so great job tonight.
Thank you.
Other than that, I'm all set. Thank you.
Dr. Flanagan?
I just echo what Ryan said, the turnout by the families at the 5th grade moving on ceremony, the 8th grade moving on ceremony, and graduation, I couldn't agree more that the outside celebrations are just a nice touch, and certainly something that I think is here to stay for sure. I know it's here to stay, weather permitting. So it was great to see the turnout too. Went from offering 2 seats or 4 seats to kids. You saw grandparents and aunts and uncles there, and I think it was a nice thing. So have a safe and happy summer, everyone. Please find some time to decompress, re-energize, and recharge for next year, and we'll do it all over again.
Great. Well, with that, we do have a need for executive session this evening to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health, rather than the professional competence of an individual, or to discuss the discipline or dismissal of, or a complaint or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. We'll return from executive session only to adjourn the regularly scheduled meeting, and I'll seek a motion to enter into executive session. This will require a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second?
Jeff?
In favor?
Justin?
In favor?
I'm in favor.
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Thank you. We're in executive session.